The camera never blinks, but could your mirror be lying to you? This is Dr. George Moritz, founder of the Hormonal Blueprints System, and now Your Skin Blueprint System. For the moment, just forget about having to do anything, because just by tuning in today, there's a special gift for you. And for the moment, this is not about you having to do anything, fix anything, and so forth. For just a moment, pretend, imagine that we don't have to fix anything. But what if we were not trying to fix anything about your beauty, but simply used changes in your beauty, things that have gone on for years, and use them to clue in to things that are responsible for the aging of your beauty itself? In other words, there are underlying keys to your beauty and nutrition that are revealed by changes in your beauty. And there's a really neat way that takes less than 3 minutes for you to experience it. And there's nothing for you to do, nothing for you to buy, but I do want you to tune in, because I've developed a 3-part series that, if you simply tune into that alone, will be very, very valuable and could literally make you more beautiful just listening to that. So what I've done, I've broken it up into skin, nails, and hair. And so each part will delve into some secrets that I was sharing with my VIP clients. I was recently doing an interview for my upcoming book, Are You Suffering from Invisible Woman Syndrome? And I realized to take the people who tune into what I do and make them wait for that. Well, I want to show you these things ahead of time before I do the launch for the book, and because I know how valuable this could be just by listening to what I have to share with you. So if you're looking to improve your beauty and wanted to do it in a turnkey way, tune into this 3-part series, and I promise you, you won't be disappointed. And at the end of the series, I have a special gift for you just for taking the time out of your day to tune in and stay beautiful. This is Dr. George Moritz. Thank you. We're back, and this is part 1 of our series on keeping you beautiful. Today, part 1 is on skin, the heaviest and largest organ in the body, the thing that seems to get most attention. Ladies, go to any of the magazine counters, look online, skin, skin, skin. And isn't it funny that Madison Avenue already has a treatment for you, never having met you, and really not knowing anything about your skin? And isn't it also funny, in the makeup industry, there's a lot of covering up. In the morning, when you're looking in the makeup mirror, you know, even what you see in the mirror may not be truly what's going on. Sure, there's things you don't like that you're seeing, but isn't it interesting that you have to constantly replenish the skin, do all these things to those top layers? What if what was going on in your teenage years and early 20s, what if we had that blueprint? In other words, you've all trusted me with the hormonal blueprint system, brain blueprint system. In other words, that's what I do. I'm a blueprint doctor. I figure out what it was like years ago, even though I had not met many of you at that time. And so why would that principle be different with your skin? So you have all these layers of skin, and we're always paying attention to the top layer. What we're not going to do today is talk about skin damage and acne and how to buy the latest gadget or topical treatment that is really only turning over the top layer. And if you were only concerned about that and it fixed things, there would be no discussion today. Quite truthfully, though, the reason that you're constantly working so hard to get your skin to look better as it did years ago, but not significantly better, is because we're only looking at the top layer. What if there was a way to look in the underlying layers, what's lurking in there, what's going on? In other words, if you were to try to tackle your house and you had structural issues with your house, you wouldn't start with the landscaping and gardening. You would look at the structure of the house. You would look at the foundation. You would look at how the whole, the beams and the structure of the house was built, and get it back to what it was years ago when you got your original newly built house. Well, this blueprint principle works very elegantly and very effectively with your skin as well. So what forced me to think about this? Well, for years I'd been seeing women who are asking me to tackle their skin. They say, Dr. Moritz, you help people with the blueprint, you help people with their sleep, you get their brain chemicals working, they're living a very productive and supercharged relationship full life. So why is it that you just ignore the skin? Well, as a confession, I didn't really want to get into it. In other words, the argument was, look, there's all these skin specialists, there's all these cosmetic counter people out there, and if people really felt like they were getting taken care of, which we all really disagree and say, you know, we really are quite confused at what they're trying to do. We do know that there's a very large industry in doing it, but why would I delve into it? Well, people twisted my arm, and so I actually did tackle this issue. But I knew that just like with blueprints and brain chemicals and sleep chemistry, that you have to get to the foundation, the very thing that's unique to you. You all have a fingerprint. Well, your skin is the same way. In other words, there's something unique about your skin. And I don't mean just saying whether your skin is oily or dry or combination. No, this is far deeper. In other words, what is it about the skin below the top layer, those underlying layers lurking, that prevents women from getting the key to beautiful, youthful, glowing, radiant skin? Well, for this purpose, I had to do a lot of research. And in my research, I made friends with a physicist and a very smart innovator in ultraviolet science. And what he did is he invented the UV skin light bulb. So in other words, he was very curious about my frustration that was shared by all these women. And so I got a hold of him, and he was just as curious about what I do as what he does. But I try to keep things focused. And so what I was able to do with this gentleman is I was able to discover what it would take to figure out what the blueprint of your skin is. In other words, your skin blueprint, so that anything I did to transform your skin would kick the pants off anything else that's already being done. We are not here to do a little better than something else. This has to be remarkably so much of a transformation for your skin that your friends would have to notice and be jealous. I mean, that would be the success outcome that we're desiring. So what I was able to do is figure out how to use 3D skin analysis. In other words, this is used in true skin research. This is a research tool, and how to adapt it so that the lady who is frustrated with her skin, for instance, take your eyes. That is usually the first area where you notice some wrinkling and thinning and sometimes even swelling of the area, and how to take that information and design your skin transformation so that you do have radiant, glowing, youthful skin. Well, it was done through use of this 3D analysis. And so I have invested in this technology to benefit you. If this would not help people, we wouldn't be sitting here talking about it. So understand, there's a lot more that I can do than this limited conversation on this video. But if any of this intrigues you, I've created a way at the end of our series to actually take advantage of this so that you too would know what your skin blueprint, and understandably, it would help you understand whatever you're doing now, how limited it really is and whether it's helping at all. You deserve to know that. And as a secondary benefit, you now can figure out what it takes to have beautiful skin and be the magnetic center of social attention this year. This is Dr. George Moritz. Please tune into our next series on nails. I look forward to it, and be beautiful. Thank you. Beautiful nails. This is Dr. George Moritz in our series. This is part 2, Beauty in Your Nails. Wherever you turn, women are showing off their nails. Think about all the different places that do manicures and pedicures, and if we ever took off all the polish, all the cover-up, what do we know about the health of your body based on your nails? In other words, forget for a moment that we want to make your nails more beautiful, although there is a way to do that. But for a moment, imagine, if you will, what if we knew that the condition of your nails as a statement of your health could expose underlying hormonal and nutritional deficiencies? Well, they do. Think about this. Let's just look at the anatomy of the nail. It grows about 1/10 of a millimeter a day, very, very small. So it takes about 6 months for a nail to grow out. The hands and the feet are a little different because there's different pressure and blood flow in your feet. And what we will cover has nothing to do in this discussion, because it is a brief one, about infections and trauma. There is a lot that is written and known about that. But for the moment, look at the condition of the nail as it relates to your anatomy. You have what's called a nail bed, and it grows from the junction of the skin upwards. Okay, so in other words, it takes 3 to 6 months for the nail to fully grow out. But then you start looking at things like thinness, brittleness, spots, funny borders, and even the shape of the nail itself. So in other words, doing an evaluation of your nail health can reveal underlying deficiencies that, corrected, will also make the rest of you beautiful. So in other words, just like we talked about the skin as a very large organ, as a reflection of not only your beauty but your underlying health, so too is it with your nails. So the next time you're wondering, what does your nail health tell you about your beauty and underlying health and wellness? Well, we have an opportunity at the end of this series for you to take advantage of that, so that you can not only be beautiful but also healthy. This is Dr. George Moritz, helping you with your beauty transformation. I'll see you next time on part 3, which will be about beauty and your hair. Thank you. Wherever you turn, women are reminded about the body, bounce, and gloss of their hair. This is Dr. George Moritz, part 3 series on beauty and your hair. What is so fundamentally interesting is $50 billion a year is spent on hair. What does that have to say about your underlying health? So imagine for a minute, as I've asked in previous series with skin and nails, that we forget the fixing of the issue that you have with your hair, but use it in a real sneaky way to figure out what is really going on deep inside your body. Because ultimately, there is a way to fix your beauty, transform it into something that may even be better than years ago with your skin, nails, and now your hair, but also to make a real impact on your health as well. So what would women give to get the hair that they want? Well, fundamentally, when you're looking at hair, you're looking at something called keratin. We're looking at the shaft. The active part of it is called the follicle, and that's deep. You really can't see that. But what you're looking at is layers of keratin. And so what happens is that a lot of times when I'm evaluating hair and helping it not only to improve your beauty, but also to transform your health, what ends up happening is I'm looking at the thickness of the hair, I'm looking at the volume of the hair, I'm looking for hair loss, be it all over or in certain areas. I'm also looking at the color of the hair as well. Aging left to the way that it is occurring. In other words, people come to me aging before their years. What happens is that hair is affected just like it is with skin, and nails. And so what I do is part of your profile. In other words, as I'm helping transform your beauty, what I'm doing is I'm evaluating all these factors as I tune hormones and nutrition specific to you. So a lot of people come to me and say, yeah, I take biotin, I take B vitamins and all this other stuff, and there's always a new product on the market. You know, originally it was about shampoo, condition, and basically color your hair. Well, now there's all kinds of hair products, and if just for purposes of entertainment, it would be hard to ignore every new gadget that's supposed to make your hair stand this way, repair it, and so forth. But a lot is being missed, just like it is with skin and nails. In other words, they're trying to cover the superficialities of it so that it's a time-intensive thing, it's a money-intensive thing, and may not really leave you any better off. What I'm talking about for smart and savvy women is getting to the underlying cause, so that we can truly not only transform the condition of your hair, whatever may be affected, but share with you the underlying deficiencies so that you know what you're going after. There's nothing worse than, and I see this all the time, people will come to me and they spend umpteen amounts of money, time, and frustration and not know what the condition of their hair is. So what I do in this, and you'll have an opportunity to do this because this is the end of our series, I'm going to give you an opportunity to discover for yourself. In other words, in less than 3 minutes, you too can discover for your skin, nails, and now hair what it would take to not only transform the beauty of that, but also supercharge your nutritional and hormonal health. And ultimately, you want to be the magnetic center of attention. And let's be honest, what if your friends are jealous? Who cares? Isn't that a little side benefit of why we do this? Why should you present yourself to the world and have them make a statement about your age? In other words, why is it that women are unnecessarily aging before their years? There's good news and bad news. Before you heard this 3-part series, the bad news was that people are really not doing anything to slow it down. They're trying to cover it up, whether it was their skin, or they were putting polish or color on their nails, and then the same thing with their hair. So basically, these are band-aids, so to speak, of these 3 very significant areas that represent beauty to the world and your self-esteem. The good news is that now there is a methodical way, a system in a very short amount of time that could not only expose these deficiencies but correct it for you so that you become more beautiful than you ever imagined before. This is Dr. George Moritz. Take advantage of my free gift. The information is below in this email, and I look forward to it. Thank you again.